guys, welcome back to another episode of Rookie Cooks Season 2. I'm sure by now, looking at the king crab, you have an idea about what's going to go down. We are making a seafood boil, so let's get started. So the first thing we're going to do is chop our potatoes. As always, the ingredients for this dish can be found in the description box below. I absolutely love seafood boils and they're not so easily accessible here in the UK, so I had no choice but to figure out how to make it myself. So into your salted water, you're going to add your potatoes. We just want these to boil and cook all the way through, then we'll remove it and get working on our seafood. So into our food processor, because I don't want to spend time chopping the onions and garlic finely. There's a lot of garlic in this dish, so it's better to just peel the skins off, put them in the food processor and get them blitzing. So we're using a whole bulb of garlic here. I'm just going to peel them and pop them into the food processor. If you're like me, every time I think of seafood boils, I just remember B Loves Live. I watch all her videos on YouTube and I end up being on Instagram watching mukbang videos all night, unable to sleep. So this is definitely going to feed my craving. So I'm popping my garlic into the food processor. I'm going to be also using 3 shallots. I like my sauce very bitty, and you can never have enough onions and garlic. My eyes are watering. I remember when I was younger and my mum would have me chopping onions at age 7. I'd come into the kitchen with my swimming goggles on. But I'm a pro now. No tears will fall from these eyes. Pop your shallots in. I'm using 1 scotch bonnet. I like my food spicy, as you guys already know. We are adding some chili flakes later, hence I'm only using 1 small scotch bonnet. So pop your lid on and chop this down in the food processor. Next step is to prepare our spice mixture. To a bowl, I'm just going to add some black pepper. As always, measurements for my recipes will be found in the description box below. Some lemon pepper. Some cayenne pepper. Add as much cayenne pepper as you prefer, just in case you don't like it too spicy. Some oregano. Onion powder. Soft brown sugar. Smoked paprika. This is going to give our sauce that nice, rich, deep red. All-purpose seasoning. I make my own all-purpose, so feel free to use whatever you have on hand. More chilies. I'm using some chili flakes. And some onion powder. And how can I forget the all-important Old Bay seasoning? And give that all a good mix. If you like to eat seafood boils regularly, I would suggest just mixing up your spices, storing them in the cupboard. Makes it easier for next time, cuts out this step of the process. So to make our sauce, it does require a lot of butter. I know, close your eyes, high cholesterol, but you'll know that quite a few other recipes require a lot more butter, but I substitute this with some chicken stock instead. So now that our butter's melted, let's add in our onions, garlic, and chili that we blitzed in the food processor. And we just want to sweat these down for 5 minutes. I don't want the onions to turn brown, so keep an eye on it. Right, so let's have a look at our onions. Now with the spice mix, we're just going to gradually add that. I want to taste it before I add all of the spice mix in there, just to make sure it's not too salty or anything like that. You can see already, you can see the vision of what this sauce is gonna look like. Can't wait. Now let me give this a quick taste. It's perfect. Now to this, we're going to add our chicken stock. Some Worcester sauce. Pop the lid back on, reduce the heat down right low, and just leave it for 30 minutes to do its thing. You don't need to touch it. So our potatoes have been boiling for 10 minutes. I'm going to add in our sweet corn. Leave that to boil for another 15 minutes. Once it's cooked, we'll remove it and we'll move on to our seafood. So now that our potatoes are done, we are going to remove them and our sweet corn. So we're just going to put our potatoes and corn to the side, and let's get back to our boil. Now to the boiling water, I'm going to chop an onion just into quarters. I want to get a nice broth going. 1 lemon. Pop those into the same boiling water that we used for the potatoes and corn. A couple of bay leaves. Celery sticks. Spring onions. And some fresh parsley. A few cloves of garlic. Now with the remaining spice mix that we made earlier, go ahead and pop that into your boiling water. Give that all a good mix. Now we're going to add our king crab. King crab clusters are already cooked when you buy them. Well, in the UK anyway. So we're going to pop that on boil for 15 minutes. Now, if you have any difficulty purchasing king crab, I always find it best to buy it online. It's been easier for me and most cost effective. I don't mind linking below where I purchased this king crab because I know it can be a bit difficult to get hold of. The crab has been boiling now for 10 minutes. Going to add our lobster tail. And after 5 minutes, we'll come back and add our prawns. Now, so let's have a look. Our lobster is cooking along nicely, as well as our king crab. Oh, this smells great. So I'm going to add our king prawns in. Now these will only take 5 minutes to cook, so we are nearly done. Just to add our mussels, our sauce. I can't wait to eat. I like to keep the shells on my prawns just because it adds better flavour to the dish, but feel free to add deshelled prawns if that's your preference. So we're going to add our chorizo sausage. This is already cooked, so we're just trying to warm it through. Let's add our mussels. These only take 3 minutes to cook. Give this another mix, and then we'll be ready to serve. So now I've plated up our seafood with the potatoes and corn that we boiled earlier. Let's spoon over that delicious sauce that we've had cooking. Look at that. Trust me guys, once you taste this, it will be your absolute favorite dish to recreate. So I've spooned over the sauce, but let's add some more to a ramekin just so that we can dip our seafood in. garnish with some fresh parsley. And there you have it, guys, Rukkie's seafood boil. Now tell me that is not a statement dish. Hope you guys enjoyed this recipe. Make sure that you like, subscribe, and also follow me on Instagram. I'll see you soon. Bye. So finally, time to eat. I'm gonna pull my sleeves up, give my hands a wash. It's not snapping, it's not snapping.
Break.
Pull.
Mixing up your spices, store it. If you like to eat seafood boils regularly, what we're going to do is gradually add it in. Oh, beep, 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 beep. It's the lid, it's warning me. Just not have a fire hazard. Let's pop this back on.
I'm still on it.